Tree City, USA, request Robin Hensel and Mayor Van Riesingham. Who's talking?
I guess Robin can go first here.
Thank you. I asked to be on the agenda tonight via email request on July 18th. My request states, Dan Vogt, City Council, I request to be on the agenda of the City Council meeting of August 5th, 2013 to address Tree City status for our quaint little river town. Warm regards in my name. Then I received an email from Kathy Van Riesingham. I sent this email to Dan Vogt and others, I believe. Originally, I sent an email to Kathy, the mayor, Dan Vogt, Jerry Lochner, and Christina Von Berg of the CBB. And that email says, hi to all. These 15 reasons are all good reasons to become a tree city once again, just as this city was once in the 1990s. Isn't this also a tourism idea to help promote our quaint little river town? Since Royalton is, why shouldn't we be a tree city? Why are they ahead of us with splash pad and trees? Trees are an integral part of our community development. I suggest we consider this program to help us achieve the bike trails and overnight camping at Laberger and Mill Park. Wouldn't this be wise to consider and promote? The 15 reasons to become a tree city are: encourages better care of community forests, touches the lives of people within the community who benefit daily from cleaner air, shadier streets, and aesthetic beauty that healthy, well-managed urban forests provide, recognizes and rewards communities for annual advancements in urban forestry practices, increases public awareness of the many social, economical, and environmental benefits urban forestry practices, provides education to improve current urban forestry practices, builds cooperation between public and private sectors to effectively manage urban forests, encourages, supports, and strengthens effective urban forestry programs in diverse communities nationwide, can make a strong contribution to a community's pride, serves as a blueprint for planting and maintaining a community's trees, puts people in touch with other communities and resources that can help them improve their program, helps present the kind of image that most citizens want to have for the place they live or conduct business, tells visitors through signage that there is a community that cares about its environment, sometimes gives preference over other communities when allocations of grant money are made for trees or forestry programs, provides a way to reach large numbers of people with information about tree care. So thank you, President Klinker, for letting all of us know that this city used to be a tree city. I would hope this city would decide to be that again. I took a photo at Pine Grove Park about a week ago. And this picture is of a tree, a pine tree, in that primeval Pine Grove forest that's in danger. This picture shows the top foliage of that tree, and it's clearly in trouble. The reason it's in trouble is that our Parks Board has not created a barrier so the cars that are backing up in that area by the playground don't do this kind of damage. This kind of damage done to any tree is a great invitation for insects and larvae to gather into a tree and cause that tree to die. And if you look at the visual of the foliage at the top of that tree, it's in decline, it's in trouble. This is exactly the kind of thing that we don't want to have happen in those pine trees. Because if mites or bugs get into those trees through that sore at the bottom, and you can clearly see that multiple cars have damaged that, how hard would it have been for our Parks Department to erect a barrier to protect that tree? And shouldn't they have been doing that already? I point this out because we need some expertise in this area. Clearly, we're not getting it for our tax dollars. Now, I've heard it said in meetings before that there's a program, and when I'm finished speaking, I'd like our city engineer to explain this, that when trees are removed in front of a person's property, that property owner has a right to a tree through some kind of a program in this city for replacement of a tree. I would encourage all homeowners to do that. I would encourage all renters that live in the facility, if the tree is downed and in front of your place, that you request that your landlord request a tree to be put there, and that you take the time to water the tree. I've heard it said there are certain rental districts, blocks. 2nd Street has been mentioned, that trees were replaced and they weren't even watered. And there was some kind of a stigma with that because that was a rental area. I'm going to show this picture of this lovely mountain ash tree that sits directly in my front view of my home. It's a mountain ash tree, not in a rental area. It's owned by our hospital, and it was allowed to die. It was the most beautiful mountain ash tree in this city. And because the hospital that owns the home next to me chose not to water and maintain the front of that property, this tree is completely dead. I invite the public to go witness that tree tomorrow. This is a picture of our downtown trees before they were trimmed. I'm going to suggest that if we had any experts or had contacted any experts about our downtown trees, they wouldn't be butchered and hacked the way they are. And I would encourage the public to be taking close heed of what happens to our downtown trees from now on, because it's going to likely be that they will die or get some kind of mite infestation. Then I want to share one last thing. Because before the meeting tonight, I was told by my representative, Mr. Loren Boyum, that he did not represent me. I will not look to him for the support of this program. He happens to represent my ward, including me, but he stated public in this chamber that he does not represent me. And it's all on camera.
This is, we're talking about the trees, not about other trees.
And I am talking about my representative. I'm not looking for his support with this because this was my idea, and he stated clearly to everyone in this chamber that he does not represent me emphatically.
You also didn't state that to be a tree city, we have to have, it's $2 per,
I'm so sorry. I thought I turned it down to vibrate.
Can I talk now? No, I actually wanted to address that.
it costs $2 per residence to belong to the tree city, which in Little Falls, we got over 8,400 people, so that's about 60,000.
Yeah.
But I would be willing to pay that fee myself, and I believe a lot of good citizens would be willing to pay that fee to participate in
What are
this
you
good
talking about,
program.
the $2 or the 17,000?
The $2 per property. I believe if the city residents were asked if they would be willing to chip in that money through a little announcement in the water bill, I bet you would have a lot of people willing to participate in that.
Okay, Mr. President. And actually, I kind of started this conversation at the last meeting because I went to the League of Minnesota Cities meeting, and they brought this up, and plus Andrea Lauer, who's the mayor of Waterton, they work with the Art Tree City, and they also received a grant through the University of Minnesota, who came in and actually, along with their park board, they did a thorough inspection of their trees, and found out there was any diseases or whatnot. So then they got recommendations from the University of Minnesota that what they should plant in the future, and how to look for things. You had mentioned that there is a $2 per capita per resident, but it's basically what they're looking at is that you would set up, or the city would set up a forestry program within the community with that money. The expenses can be used in meeting that $2 per capita, and there's a list here like city worker salaries, or a percentage thereof if tree care is a portion of their job, contract work, tree board salary, tree purchases, watering, fertilizing, insect control, staking, mulching, dead tree removal, stump removal, pruning by city employees, leaf and brush pickup, biomass recycling, survey or inventory expenses, computer inventory software. I mean, there's a list here of things that you can use, as part of that. They also have volunteer time, which is calculated in that at $11 per hour. we would automatically receive information and resources on grant opportunities from the Tree City USA and in education products as well. I mean, I just, looking at the other communities within the state of Minnesota, which we were one of them for a while, there are over 100 communities that are Tree City USA. I noticed that Brainerd is one of them, and thought maybe, Dan, if you could kind of shed some light on this too, and how does it work for Brainerd? Is it a good program? What's your thoughts on it?
If I could, I did talk to the park director up in Brainerd today about the program. He said as far as the actual benefits of the program, it's negligible. You create they have a forestry program, and I think it was costing Brainerd. I think that part of the budget was in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. A lot of the cost ended up being a portion of the park department's cost. Their park department is 6 or 7 people too. A portion of their pay went into the forestry department because they were taking care of trees and doing things like that, doing the tree inspections and such. The other part of it was certainly they've been, I think, 32 years or something like that. They get a sign, and frankly, I don't think they put the sign up. But there is an Arbor Day program as well, and they have that Arbor Day program. I contacted the superintendent of schools to see whether or not the school did an Arbor Day program, or does an Arbor Day program. He hasn't got back to me yet. I also, Brainerd just had a tree survey done from the U of M, and I made contact with the person that did the tree survey, and probably the same person that did the royalty one. So I made contact with them to see whether or not they could perform that type of service for the city of Little Falls as well. So, and I also, just one other thing, I did contact a certified arborist with regards to our tree trimming downtown that was mentioned. He said the tree should be fine. The problem is the emerald ash borer felt that if the infestation would come up here and a tree is trimmed that time of year, then that could be a problem, but it hasn't been a problem so far. So he said the trees should be fine when I talked to that a local certified arborist that we have. But anyway, a few things. So he said, the value of the program, is tough to quantify, I think, but you do have the Arbor Day program, and you certainly get the recognition, probably get the information as far as grants, although at the time I was there, I don't recall us in Brainerd ever applying for and receiving a grant regarding trees, but it might be available to them. But and it is the cost. Certainly, a couple things. One, we could discuss it during the budget process, which is going to be coming up as well. And if you are interested in this, to refer to their Park Rec and Tree Board for a recommendation, because they would be pretty involved. You do need a tree ordinance, and I looked at I downloaded the Brainerd ordinance. Your ordinance is pretty small, not a lot of information regarding tree. I was going to say weed, but it's pretty reduced, so it would need to be beefed up somewhat if you go this route. But that's just an ordinance. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But you do have to create the forestry program, and you do have the added cost to the budget as well.
Mr. President, if we could, and I don't know, and I talked a little bit with Jerry about this today, and what are they spending now on trees that may fall into this category, and I can get you that list, Jerry. But this last week I had received a phone call from a woman who had just been in Pine Grove Park, a grandmother who had several grandchildren there, and there were many other people that were in the park. And the kids were all playing. There were several on the merry-go-round, and they started hearing this cracking noise, and looked up and they noticed that a tree branch was coming down, and they cleared the area, got everybody out of there, and this huge branch. I mean, it was big. And when it came down, it covered the area between the tree and landed basically right very either on or very close to the merry-go-round. Several people could have been injured or killed in that process. I know that we can't predict when these trees are going to come down, but they're getting old. I feel that they should be inspected. I've felt that about Pine Grove Park for years, that we need to kind of look and see what's going on there. with disease and bugs and stuff. There's 2 other trees, oak trees in town that I have heard from the homeowner that it's been wilting for the leaves have actually been dropping off the tree for the last couple of years. There's 2 of them together. And so then I have a concern, is that a possibility of the oak wilt? You know, I believe it's gotten up this far. But if we could kind of try to keep an eye on that type of thing also, whether it's, you know, through this process or, you know, contacting the university and seeing if we can get them to come up and, you know, give us some ideas for what's going on with our trees.
The arborist that I talked to, I mean, he would provide those services for, I think it was like $35 to $50 an hour in that range. He does have a bucket truck as well, so if you would need to get up to the top of the trees and do some inspection, it would be a little more. But, you know, I did make a note to have it, a discussion item in our budget process. But the tree survey is one thing, and the arborist that might be able to help us inspect trees is another, and I've got to done some research on those items.
I had one thing to say. I heard the statement that St. Gabriel's is neglecting their tree. Is that a proven fact, or was it disease? I mean, you can't just accuse people of neglect without having substantial evidence behind it. So just to freely say something like that, I don't really like that. And plus, they do own the tree. I can't impose all my will on everyone around and tell them which trees they can save or which ones they can cut. That's taking away the rights of the homeowner or the property owner. So anyway, I just think that I'm going to stand up a little bit for St. Gabriel's and not just take it as a fact that they neglected the tree.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to refer this to the park board for consideration for the Tree City USA, and also for, if we could have immediate action on the correcting the problem over at Pine Groves Zoo about the tree being damaged by parked cars. Also, probably cars are getting hit too, but if we could have something done on that as soon as possible.
Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Crowder, second by Mayor Van Riesingham to turn this matter over to the Park Recreation and Tree Board, and also to put a barrier around that tree that gets hit. I'm sure the people that hit it don't like it better than we do. Any just more discussion?
So what are you gonna do with the tree? Put some cement barricades around it or what? Or drill some holes and cut the roots off?
I would assume we'll put some white posts like we have the other white posts in Pine Grove Park, something to match the other white posts in there. Be probably,
But you're gonna drill into the ground, drill a 4-inch pole into the roots, you're gonna want to cut the tree down.
try to be careful, take our water jet machines so we can miss the roots, we'll try to miss the roots.
Mr. President, I did request that Jerry Lochner please explain the tree program for replacement of trees to the public. If they have a tree that's removed, that there is a tree available through the city.
Can we put that on the next agenda?
Yes.
It'll take 1 minute.
Okay.
Our meeting.
What was referred to?
That's our decision, what should be on the agenda or not. I would like to see it referred to the
We'll
next
decide
meeting.
if we want to hear that.
We have a motion. Let's vote on it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll give it to the park. Video